Today is day 15 of 2026. In today's vlog, basically, I just want to be honest about why certain things feel so heavy to do right now when initially they were not like that. So it all started, I would say, last year, um, around November, December, when my final internal tests were all over. I just felt a level of tiredness, a level of exhaustion that I couldn't describe. I know I had felt it before, like when I was in my second year, but it had been a year since I had felt it again. And this level of exhaustion, it is not something that can be fixed in 1 or 2 days because it's caused by a prolonged period of stress, anxiety, and to recover from that I also knew that it would take months. The moment I noticed it, I was not free from deadlines. I had work, I had project report submissions which I had to do, and I couldn't escape. I did tell my teammates that I was feeling this and that, but I also knew that since being the team lead, I didn't really have an option to escape from that. So I somehow got myself to do it. I tried a lot to feel better, but I wasn't able to. Like I played a lot of games, like the whole semester, maybe the previous year also. I hadn't played games. Like I felt it was a waste of time. So the only time I would play games is like when I'm really bored, and I thought that that was just boredom that would get fixed like in 1 or 2 days initially, but it didn't, and that's when I realized that it was more than just being bored, and I was not just tired, that it was actually burnout because I was not able to get myself to do anything during that time. But it was again a intense time since soon we were about to have our semester exams, and there was a week left for the semester exams. Again, I played a lot. I watched a lot of movies thinking I will feel better. Before there were 2 3 days before exams, that's when I started studying for the first paper because I knew I had to study in order to pass the semester. The goal was not to score anymore, the goal was just to clear it. The semester also ended. Didn't end, I'm saying, but the written papers ended, and the last paper, it wasn't good again, but that day started the terrible time. Like the intensity of the burnout increased a bit too much because it was a time when I was not able to decide what I like. I couldn't even decide what I want to eat. Like, it didn't matter what I wanted to eat also. And thing was I just scared, like if someone asked me what you want to eat, I was just like anything because I wasn't in the state of deciding. I couldn't feel things, I would say. It was an undescribable moment, actually. It started December 12th, and I just wanted to sleep for 3 4 days. And I did because I couldn't describe what I was feeling, just wanted to stay away from everything. And also during that year, I had started reading a lot. That is, I read a lot of short articles on Substack, on developer platforms, and After that day, I couldn't do it, and I needed a long break before I could finally get back to it. My brain literally did not want to see anything, any kind of written material, anything that felt that it was related to gaining information. Like my brain was that exhausted. So the thought of even going to read anything would make me more sick. So I avoided it completely. I just played the whole day. Like I played Minecraft, a couple of racing games, and I think I reached a level of playing that people would take maybe months to like reach. I finished them in like couple of days because I was playing that much. I finished series like I hadn't watched anything that year that much. I finished watching series. I watched a couple of movies, thinking that it will make me feel better. It didn't help that much, and I knew that if I continued playing like that, it was going to affect what I was planning to do. Also, during that year, I had also started my DevOps journey, the way I was learning DevOps, and my plan was to complete it by December. But then things were piling up, and I thought by January I would be finished it, and still I'm not going to be able to do it. November was the last time that I did it from the time I started, and I'm still hoping to continue it from February. But December month was the most terrible month of my life, I could say, of last year, because soon after the burnout, I had demands which I had to fulfill. Since I was the team lead, I couldn't back out. Also, the terrible sickness for 10 to 11 days, plus the burnout, was made it even more terrible. It was on New Year Day that I decided that I cannot just be playing games. That if I just let this like sit with it, it was not going to recover, because previously I have seen myself get in such situations where I know what the consequences could be, like the work piling up. It can be very stressful at the end. So I knew I had to get myself to do the thing, the deadlines which are coming. I needed to fulfill them. So I decided that I will start vlogging, maybe documenting each day, forcing myself to do something each day so that I don't fall in back in the loop, the trap of overthinking, the trap of getting myself worsened again. Because the more you sleep, the more you rest, the more worse it gets. The more you go out and you force yourself to do something that's not stressful, but something that will force yourself to like show up each day. That really helps, because I know I have seen it before. I have gone through it before. It's not the same thing. I've been through a different situation before, but this was the thing that really helped me. Getting yourself to do something so that you don't get back in the trap, in the loop of overthinking, in the loop of like uh, feeling more and more bad. Like you feel worse, you feel terrible. But even though I'm feeling better now, I would say that the thought of going back to my DevOps thing, going back to the project, the thing that caused the stress is like it's like a nightmare. The moment I think of it, anything that is associated to it, it's like a stressor, and I don't want to think about it. Um, Basically, I was supposed to do a part of my project implementation this month, but I'm not sure if I'm able to, because in the moment I think about it, it is like I feel more bad. Like it's the condition gets more worse. So I'm avoiding like doing anything that is requiring more attention of me, anything that is causing the stress in the first place. I just need to find a way not to be like afraid, because I know I need to complete the project anyways. It's a non-negotiable thing right now. A friend of mine suggested exposure therapy, where you basically like expose yourself to the things that you're afraid of to basically overcome that fear. And I think that will be the last option left right now, because since I cannot like avoid it completely, I need to get back to it so that the work doesn't pile up. And it's not a single person responsibility. uh, I have a responsibility of team, and I need to show up, I need to get the work done. So I think that would be a way where basically like at least put myself to do little work each day so that I basically finish it. And the DevOps thing which is left, I will continue it. Currently, I started my internship work. I'm doing things that feel less stressful, but I'm taking small baby steps, because after having a crash and after having all your plans just like break in between, getting back up and continuing the work that stopped, it takes time, and it's not going to be like fixed in like one day, maybe even 1 month. It's going to take time. Maybe DevOps I'm going to start by next month, uh, if I feel better, because it's something that is really going to help my career. So I need to continue it and finish it. Also, a course which I took last year, which was like a 16-week course, is still going on, so I need to complete that. Plus the project which is pending. I was supposed to complete it all by December, but the plan didn't work out. Sometimes illness, sometimes things are unpredictable, and when unpredictable things happen, the only way out is getting back up, taking the rest, getting back up, and taking small steps, and finally getting the work done. It may be not in the timeline that you have decided, but eventually it will be done. So, with that, I end day 15 of 2026.